Start recording.
Wow, Pyro, Vici.
You'd probably be better off recording my side. You'd probably get better quality out of it.
Yeah, but better perspectives from mine, probably.
Yeah.
Alright, tiebreaker's off. Hero selection's maxed out. Limit rolls. Hang on. I think there's an issue there. Oh, wait, no, limit rolls. There's no issue because you're all 1v1ing. Limit choice pool. Team side. Oh, I don't want that on. Hero selection should be any.
Except those two. Disabled, Mercy, and Roadhog.
Restrict previous use heroes. Yes. I'm going to run it. It should work. If not, I have to come back and swap the game modes. Because I did this based off a 1v1 limited duel, taking off the limits. And I think I got them all.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and put in the match chat. Think it's ready. Prepare for
battle.
Trial by combat. Alright, starting.
Right. We should be recording. We are. We're recording. We're live.
This is
Welcome.
This is not
the first day, and it is not.
No,
it's not. Oh, so you are able to see. You are picked from any hero.
Yes.
Okay, so we're worth. God, I forgot the way these.
You can just not pick them. Like you don't have to be. Like, we're gentlemen here.
Well, there's no random options. The issue.
God, I forgot the fucking. The perspectives. Yes, I'm flying, but you can't use spacebar or shift to go down. You have to look in the direction you're moving, and then
ew,
glide. If to go up, I have to look up.
Well,
so
but he's
getting some air.
So
yeah.
So is this what we're doing? We're picking our heroes. We're not doing full random.
Yes, you have 20 more seconds to pick, and they do not lock out, and it is first to 8.
Oh, they do not lock out.
Correct.
Maybe McCree.
No.
Ever more.
Wait, this is dumb.
No. I'm not going to be that cheesy.
Thank you. Do we get to see who they picked in spectator mode?
All right.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to deafen myself.
Soldier v Soldier. Soldier v Soldier. Literally just Call of Duty. They're just playing Call of Duty.
They're just playing COD.
So, those of you watching will see the red outline is Dom, and the blue outline is Pyro.
Oh, no.
Soldier has the... I will also give a play-by-play for those who haven't played Overwatch on which abilities they have. They both have identical kits. Soldier has... While pressing shift, it's a toggle ability. He can sprint. He also can right shoot cluster rockets. This is why I said you should probably record my view, because you can see this.
That's why I'm recording your view.
Yeah. Soldier also has his ultimate ability, which is just aimbot. So if it goes on long enough, you can see in the upper left and upper right the ult charge percentage, as well as their health bars. Soldier also has a healing ability, and there are no health packs on the map, I believe. So if he gets wounded, he can
What is the
try and hidey hole.
What does that mean?
That's how close he is to his ultimate, that aimbot ability.
They're both
everything else is just on
the same percentage.
The more damage they do and the more healing they receive, the higher it goes up.
Oh.
Okay, so looks like both of them are saying about the same percentage on their ultimate.
Yeah.
They're both virtually undamaged through the healing field, but they seem to be getting about equal shots in. Pyro! He dropped down to half HP.
Pyro seems to have been taking more consistent damage.
Pyro's go-to strategy is to skirmish and shell and hide. Yeah. He likes to do a little bit of damage, then run.
I mean, do you get the same... If you get the same percentage from healing and damage, then I guess they're going to be the same always. Like, unless...
Pretty much, unless Dom is lighting up more damage than Pyro's doing.
Looks like Dom's getting actually chipped down here. Pyro's rushing in for the kill.
So,
Pyro's rushing in for the kill, and he's getting down himself, and he gets fucking dunked on!
So normally in these game modes, there'd be an objective that somebody would have to go and capture for tiebreaker. Since it's turned off, it just goes to a draw if nobody gets it, which I believe is it's either 1 point to each or 0 points to each. But basically, the round is moot, and there is no lockout. I could have set it so that once they chose a hero, it couldn't be used again, but they're free to choose whichever hero they want each round. I am moving now into just a better position.
It's like a really intense game of rock, paper, scissors.
Kind of.
That then leads into an arm wrestling match.
It's about to get worse, and I may just do Pyro dirty with this one.
Oh, you're going to do Reaper, aren't you?
No. Worse.
Reaper's
Zarya.
not that great in 1v1s.
No, but versus Pyro also loves to do tank Shane.
Oh, man.
No. I mean dirty in the way of headshot.
Oh,
Are you playing Mistra?
What? Who?
Widow. I'm assuming she's meaning that just sniper.
Hanzo.
Oh, that's dirty. All right, read difference. We can talk strategy without giving you tips.
Hanzo shoots giant logs rather than arrows.
Yeah, he also
Who's
knows.
that?
Okay, so Hanzo is an archer. He has a sonic arrow, which will reveal enemies through the wall. Same color still, red dom, blue pyro. His secondary shot is a drag. He gets 2 rapid fire full shot arrows for slightly less damage. His ultimate is basically a beam weapon that clips through walls and is very slow and easy to dodge. Pyro's character flies. Pressing shift, he does a rocket jump to shoot up, and he has a fuel meter to help him stay aloft.
What's her name?
He shoots Farah.
Farah.
She shoots rockets that have splash damage. They do fairly decent damage. Body shots do well. Her ultimate is a barrage that makes her completely stationary, though, and it is notoriously bad. That is his sonic arrow. He can now see Pyro.
Oh no!
So if we go to the advantages and disadvantages of these characters, both of them don't need to relatively aim, because Pyro at least has the splash damage, and he's playing Hanzo, so as long as he's on the screen when he lets go of that arrow, it's going to hit him. The downside of this is that Pyro's mobility is much better than Dom's, despite having the wall climb from Hanzo.
Hanzo does also have the ability to double tap spacebar and strafe.
But if Pyro is to use that...
Connor, what are you doing?
I can hear your hatred for Hanzo.
I was considering updating the match.
It's not really a hatred for Hanzo, it's knowing that Hanzo doesn't, his aiming is really jank in this game. As long as they are near your crosshair, you're going to hit them with whatever you shoot at them.
And somehow I still suck at the game.
I don't play these kinds of games, so I would be terrible at them.
I don't play them either.
Looks like Pyro's splash damage is slowly whittling down. Because keep in mind, they're not playing as soldiers.
Let's jump into
they don't have healing.
Oh my god.
So any damage that Dom takes will be permanent, and he gets clapped. He gets the one shot off on Pyro that actually does about 70% of his health. But the tip damage of the missiles is just too much, and Pyro takes the win.
That was just really bad matchup.
It was. I thought you were going to be able to get it still.
You forget how out of practice I am with this.
Yeah, you overestimate Pyro's base ability when he's warmed up and been playing for.
Maybe.
We know he's not good. He knows he's not good. We're surprised he won a round.
I'm not.
That's like me being in there and winning a round against
He can usually
Connor.
win round over. He's improved quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to play for ownership of the server.
Damn.
Everyone have a game called Warhammer 2 or CS:GO?
No.
Oh,
we should do that. Just every month, anyone can fucking.
That's how you get mod. Once you rank in a certain.
Put it on the Dice-aster children.
That's why I'm recording this, is so that I can put it on Dice-aster children.
Okay. So breaking down these classes, Dom is a sniper. He is Ash once again in the red. She has dynamite.
Do something, Bob.
Yeah, his ultimate is that he spawns basically another ally that hits walls and then is a stationary turret for a good bit. He is a semi-automatic bolt-action rifle that she fires. Fairly good. It takes a really long time to reload because she has to reload each individual bullet. Pyro is a tank who can project a shield and has those blue bars on his health on the upper left regenerate.
Oh no.
He can also absorb damage with his left shift, that ability he just used. I'm going to jump down to first person or third.
Oh no!
So you'll notice that rock also.
Pyro seems to be playing Dark Samus. He's
are we doing like
game.
2 out of 3? How are we playing for this? What is
first one who gets 8, I believe.
8, okay.
Yeah.
So both characters don't have an active heal, but Pyro does have a regening shield for a certain amount of his health. As long as he stays back and lets it regenerate like he's playing Destiny, he should be okay.
And he doesn't get caught with the damage over time dynamite that flung at him. Pyro's ammo also has a range that it cannot go past. As you're seeing it exploding Dom's is as far as he can see. And that's how you do it. That was a headshot, by the way. That red arrow indicates it was a headshot, folks.
It's cold down here, and I'm under blankets, but I'm fanning myself because I'm.
Seems that Pyro did not take the terrain into his advantage and head into the building so he could get a better access to Dom, because Dom had the range advantage. He was playing a sniper class, but Pyro did have the advantage of having that regenerating shield and being able to do the pop in and out skirmishes while not taking much damage, because even if he were to take a full shot to the chest from that sniper, it would barely get through his shield, only doing about 3 damage from
Pyro's best strategy would have been to throw that shield far in front of Dom so that he didn't have a good line of shot to close the distance, and then throw his splash damage orbs to slowly whittle Dom down, and he probably could have gotten the win out. Unfortunately, Dom had some really great time shots and a good shot on that dynamite he threw. And unfortunately, it just did not go into Pyro's favor. Next matchup.
Dynamite did hit him right when he
actually proper nervous right now.
Damage on himself.
You see the appeal a little bit to these games now live.
No.
Okay, we see going Zarya into...
Zarya is Dom's signature character.
Zarya, that's who I was trying to say with Mizra.
Yeah. Pink-haired tank has a bubble that she puts on to take basically no damage, and then builds up her damage for a little bit. Her ultimate is a black hole that will hold the enemy and make them unable to move. Although Pyro is playing probably the perfect counter to avoid Moira, a support class technically. Her right click does this grasp. It's just like a narrow beam attack that does a little bit of damage and heals her a little. And she can throw a damage or healing orb, shown there. I'm going to jump
big downside of Zarya's main weapon is that it also has a max range, similar to Pyro's champion.
Yes.
The last game.
They both have ways of restoring their health. Dom has pretty solid shields. Currently watching the third person of Pyro. But
yeah, it is going to be quite a problem for Pyro to get through that shield and actually damage Dom's health, because the low damage output of Moira versus the massive shield, and if he's in range of that, in range long enough to damage that shield past and start hitting the actual health, he will have to deal with the actual damage output.
The only damage Pyro can do... So Pyro is looking hurt now. He's just been cut off, and Dom tracked his position. Pyro's Fade ability is the only thing that's keeping him alive, and he is blinking into the range of the Zarya.
He tried to go for the turnaround. He is getting a crispy escape out in there. He did leave Dom up for the runners on that one. He gets a good heal on himself. He unfortunately did not get through Dom's shield.
And Dom has taken color commentary.
Because Dom has his shields regenerated, essentially everything that Pyro did has had no...
Due to this matchup, there's about 0% chance for Pyro to win. He would have had to just go for the draw.
Pyro's method there should have been just try and push it to a draw.
Yeah.
Because either they would have both gotten a point or no one would have gotten one.
Moria does not have the damage output to make it through Zarya's shields before getting obliterated. So he should have just went for the draw. Unfortunately, he took the loss. But we'll see with this next matchup how that goes.
I really feel like I'm
watching really good counters so far.
I was about to say that I literally feel like I'm watching ESPN right now.
So y'all are really getting into this.
I'm so nervous,
you get the appeal of esports. Oh my god!
Getting into this.
I just noticed on the gardens, there's a little there's symbols of this in the snow.
Connor, you might get excited over this one.
Oh god! Don't tell me. I'm excited to explain what you are.
This is going to be the real 50-50 one.
Oh no! Good luck, Dom.
I kind of wanted to be a draw, like the whole thing.
No, this one's either win or die.
Oh, right. Is that Widowmaker and May?
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
So Widowmaker is just a sniper. Her abilities, she has a mine that will explode and do a little bit of damage, but May can out-heal it, and it'll just give Dom a little bit of insight where Pyro is. Pyro, however, who's playing May, has she's actually DPS.
Really?
No.
Yes. But she may as well be. So her left click slows down and will eventually freeze an enemy, where he can line up the right click, a headshot spike. And because Widowmaker has the lowest health in the game at 175, 125, getting frozen will be the death of Dom. You'll see here, that is his Venom mine. If Pyro walks near that, he'll get detonated. Let's jump into Pyro's third person. And let's keep... Actually, I want to jump into Dom's third.
This is terrifying.
This is Dom's view.
Get him, Dom. Come on, get him.
The basic gameplay of this matchup is if Dom does not kill Pyro with an instant headshot, he will probably die.
See, Dom cannot see the outlines.
I know.
But he can hear when Pyro moves.
Oh.
Pyro, if you notice when he does that ball, he's in a self-healing state, which is now on cooldown. I'm going to jump out and go to some third person.
Oh. This is so nerve-wracking.
Appreciation for the skin Dom paid for.
I love the fact that Liv is enjoying this.
I would never want to play one of these games because it's so anxiety-inducing.
Oh, another shot would have ended it right there, but unfortunately, Pyro does get away and does heal himself.
Having to use his health cooldowns rapidly.
That is a defensive cooldown as well.
I'm not sure what a draw has an effect. What effect a draw has on the scoreboard too.
God.
Pyro does need to use that wall a little more offensively rather than just putting it up and wasting it to block.
That was one headshot and it's over for Pyro. Unfortunately, a couple more good icicles from Pyro and it's over for Dom.
Dom does not have any means of healing, so any damage he takes is permanent. Any damage that Pyro takes can be healed.
No.
We're sitting in a cell 2-3, 2 Pyro, 3 Dom.
Unfortunately, Pyro closed that distance, and that's the downside. The sniper gave him advantage at long range, but if Pyro got closer, it was game over. Especially with the lack of healing on Widowmaker's behalf compared to both the defensive wall of May and the ice to protect himself from shots and heal. So
I'm so nervous.
It's very, very sustained challenge for Widowmaker in that matchup.
So, coming up on it next, though, we'll see if Dom has learned the error of his ways and possibly is going to come back with the strength of a self-healer and see if he can turn that way. Of the heroes that were disabled, for those who are curious, Mercy is just basically just a healing class and is unable to do any real damage. She's one of the most...
That's the heal slut character.
Yeah, it is also my main.
You are a heal slut.
Yes, and I accept it. Roadhog is an obscenely self-healing tank who is great at getting picks, which is also Pyro's main. So when Dom chose to disable... Oof.
Okay, this is interesting.
Starting on Dom's side, he's playing Tracer, the time-traveling lesbian picture of Overwatch.
Amazing.
He has 3 blinks. You can see him doing it now. As he right-clicks, he jumps a little forward in space, and he gets 3, and they slowly recharge over time and stack up 2-3. He can also press E and recall, reversing any damage he's taken in a short period of time and moving his location. His ultimate is a pulse bomb. It's a small little sticky grenade, essentially. Pyro's playing Junkrat, a splash damage Australian.
Oh no, and they're right next to each other. They're
Standard Australian, to be precise. Yeah. Junkrat has nothing but explosives, no accurate shots.
You'll see that he's placed down. That bear trap, if Tracer walks into it, gets caught. Yes. And he also has a mine that he can throw that does a significant amount of damage. Pyro's ultimate is a Riptire. It's just basically a heat-seeking missile that he can pilot. And if he finds the Tracer and detonates it, it'll be dead. Tracer has 150 health. Pyro only has 200 normally. But he has been knocked down to about 146, so they're on about even playing rounds.
Okay, so
especially since Pyro can't heal.
Downside. Both characters are extremely well against each other. The only downside for each of them, one, Tracer has to be very mindful of where she blinks, because if she blinks into that trap, she dies instantly. There's no escaping that. If she takes a full-on grenade after getting trapped, she's dead as hell. But Pyro, if he gets his trap destroyed or he gets dashed on without his trap set up, he will be overwhelmed instantly, because Junkrat has no sort of guaranteed damage like holding down the trigger when you're aiming at them. The grenades do have to roll out and they do have to hit them, and it's very slow in comparison to 2 submachine gun pistols that Tracer has. So if Tracer gets on top and there's no traps set up, Junkrat will be murdered really fast.
And he
as we just saw.
As we just witnessed.
So Dom's currently at 4, Pyro's at 2. We're at the halfway point for Dom's score. Knowing Pyro, I'm going to guess that he's probably going to play Sombra at some point, which is just an assassin-type character who can go invisible permanently until she attacks, as well as hack characters and shut down their abilities. I have a feeling he'll try it just to try and be sneaky. He has moved her, done her a lot. Torbjorn is definitely on his list. Who can set up a turret to just do some damage for him, hoping that it'll whittle Dom down as Dom destroys the turret and just over time earn him the win.
I would love to see in a Orisa, or whatever her name is, the green one.
Yep,
Orisa.
Orisa's my main.
Because Orisa, while her damage output is low when you consider an entire team, she does have really good disable, shielding, and
true. But none of us actually like her, so it's unlikely she'll appear. Pyro's playing Winston. He has a Tesla cannon, which is short range, but is aimbot essentially. In a cone in front of him, it will latch onto an enemy, which benefits Pyro. He also has a bubble shield. And that yellow health on the top right is armor, and you receive only 95% of the damage, just a little 5% buff. Dom is, however, Cole Cassidy, not McCree, who is that? They changed his name.
Alex Mercer.
Why did they change his name?
Because
Blizzard being problematic. But basically, he has a flashbang and a 6-shooter, as well as his ultimate just being high noon. Also voiced by Matt Mercer.
Yep. I think that's why they renamed him Mercer, didn't they?
No, his name's Cole Cassidy. They should have named him Mercer, in my opinion. It would have been cool, but Pyro and Dom and I assumed pretty much
to be connected to it.
Yeah, there was basically that. We were assuming that he didn't really want to be tied to it.
Oh, come on. No commentary on how I just murdered him.
I was going to get to that once I finish. So, the downside of that matchup was, one, Pyro could not use his jump properly. He needed to get to high ground so that he could get the distance on the jump. The jump was not enough to get him up any ledges unless he started out on a ledge. The second one was he was taking shots early on before getting anywhere close enough to use his Tesla cannon. So any damage McCree got off on him was chipping through his armor, getting into his health, and then even if he got close enough, when he has too low health from all that chipping away, all McCree has to do is roll on him, as we saw, and flashbang him. I don't even think the flashbang worked. I think it got caught on the shield, but he just didn't have enough health to take the shots when he landed, and he just didn't have the damage output either.
One good fan of the hammer to the Winston head, and all of his armor is suddenly gone. Oh!
Okay, I like this.
Hey.
Dom is playing a healer now. Ana is a sniper. When she hits, she does a little bit of damage over time, equivalent to about 60 health, I believe. 60, 65. She also has a sleep dart left shift that if it hits, you will be asleep. And if he has all of his cooldowns, he can turn into a one-hit, if he can get in range. He also has his E ability, lets him throw a biotic grenade that heals him, and will prevent Pyro from healing, even if he could heal. Pyro is playing Genji, the ninja, who throws shurikens either in a straight line or in a cone, spread out 1, 2, 3, at the same level, and spreading as it goes. His E ability is to reflect damage back. Shown there, it is now on cooldown. He has fucked it up because that means one good place.
He tried to use it preemptively, thinking Dom would already be watching and ready to fire. But Dom really cannot afford to do that with this character, because if he turns his back towards an area for a moment and Genji reaches him, he will be dismembered. So he has to keep an eye on that. He can't just use his E whenever he wants, because if he baits it out, he missed the sleep dart. That's really bad. But he's landed these consistent shots despite all the jumping, and he just puts him in the ground. Oh my god!
But
all the jumping, all the ninja jumping that Pyro was doing did nothing. Dom was just laying these shots into his kneecaps.
Ana may be a healer, but
maybe a healer, but if you can land bullets, that's gonna hurt. And he landed enough and just ripped through his health with that.
Ana would have been. Ana is a pretty good pick for Dom if Pyro picks a self-healing class, because if that nade hits you and that purple aura hits his health bar, he cannot be healed by any means. And will temporarily put a block on any self-healing a character might be gaining. Pyro is currently probably trying to think of a way to cheese a win out. As I said, I expect Torbjorn before this match is over.
I don't think Torbjorn would be a good pick.
It won't, but I think that's what Pyro will pick because he's done it before. I don't think he'll go back to an old hero because he's done a new one each time. But
there's almost no, especially on this map, there's almost no good spots to just cheese with your turret and just hold up. I think he'll go for a more aggressive.
There is Orisa. 2 Orisa. Oh, no.
Hey!
Oh.
Orisa! There we go!
Orisa v. Orisa is one of the worst matchups I've ever have to go through. Not because it's hard, because it's literally just
takes
punching
the
a mountain.
entire match.
Mhm.
Orisa has a load of armor and a load of health in general if you combine it. But the downside of Orisa is her individual shots do really low damage. So getting through each other's armor and health bar is going to take forever. They do also have shields, which none of them can power through because there's way too much health. That was a preemptive shielding. Okay, he's getting a little bit of chip damage off. There's a preemptive shielding. He probably didn't have to do that. Pyro probably shouldn't have followed up with a shield of his own. He probably should have found a better spot than this because this is a very bad... He doesn't have the high ground, and his shield's on a cooldown while Dom can manipulate freely with his. Pyro is just... Okay, so we see the gravity orb get thrown out.
So you'll notice that left shift, she goes golden and takes half damage when she activates that form. You see her E is her throwing down her shield, and that right-click orb she throws out, if it's in a connection, will pull a person. Except golden form stops that kind of CC and will not be pulled. Here we're seeing Dom's connecting more headshots and Pyro's connecting body shots, and the math quickly added up.
There's also a downside that Pyro threw out his shield way too far. It didn't actually help him at all. So while Dom had some shielding during that fight, Pyro just took it all straight to his health bar, combined with the headshots. Match point indeed.
Oof.
I'd like to see what Pyro takes out as his final choice, his last resort. I do think we're gonna see some an interesting pick. I would love to see a Reaper pick and see how he plays about that. But with how he had been playing with Genki, I don't think he can utilize that mobility properly.
Unfortunately, he is very poor in his performances that he makes with Reaper. Although it theoretically does fall into his playset, he just struggles to be able to capitalize on getting those headshots in with Reaper to build up that health, and his wraiths and the timing does not have been knocked out. Dom, however, is very proficient in bullying with a Reaper, so we'll see how it goes out here in a second.
I'd love to see a Reaper matchup right after the Orisa matchup. Okay, Zenyatta, and there it is, the Reaper pick. I figured that he would go for the one and the only edgelord of Overwatch.
Zenyatta is a railgun, essentially. That's his strategy here. He has an E ability that he will make Pyro take an additional 50% damage from all sources, and he can do a charge shot that does a pretty good amount of damage. So if you can stack those...
the bullets.
True, but it is Dom we're talking about hitting Pyro. As long as he can hit that Discord on Reaper and then hit the railgun, we're looking at a pretty quick takeout. Unless Pyro can Wraith form or warp over to the other side.
Pyro is making a very bad decision here. He never wins these engagements. Reaper's damage when he's not within about 10 feet of them is minuscule, not even enough to get through any of that shielding, no matter how many shots he lands.
He's just looking away. What is he doing?
He's getting hit.
He's
giving up.
So nervous.
He's giving up. He's a coward. They're going to throw those pistols away. I love how Reaper can take damage getting hit in the pistols. It's pretty hilarious.
If you'll notice the upper left, it's over for Pyro. The shotguns are a part of the hitbox. Really? He's pissed.
Oh.
Now, this is really up to the players here. Do you go and let the tie happen?
No,
his ass. And let the tie happen and let the rematch go to where the shotguns being a part of the hitbox does not mean he's going to get clapped in the dome twice.
And that was the best play.
76.
Supposedly from our first round.
I don't really see this as a play of the game.
Caleb Lundy, stop playing Overwatch.
Damn.
And that'll wrap it for us.
Oh gosh. Should I keep recording or stop?
No, Pyro hopped off of Overwatch.
So stop?
Yeah. And then turn that last little bit for like...
Match is over.
Oh, we're really getting into the whole fucking
Bro,
play
that was a lot.
Huh?
Bro,